All right. God damn it. You can already see the fur glow. The silhouette around the character. So they're keeping the same kind of design ideas, I guess. You can also already see the trailers not in 4K. Very cool. Oh my god. We're using the old music? Okay. You know, you just tap into memory emotion. #1 on trending. Posted earlier today. 2.5 million views. I thought those were people on the mountain, but it's not. Always. This time there's snow. And also god damn it. It's just release it in 4K. You're supposed to be a tech demo. That's what you're trying to do. I guess the animation's not finished yet or something. I don't know what the fuck. Ugh. Wow. Disney. I love Disney so much. Rafiki! Dude, it's Rafiki! In just terrible, terrible pixelated mode.
Story begins far beyond the mountains and the shadows. On the other side of the light.
Dude! Why, like, legit, okay? I know people, I've said this a million times. You can't see shit. It's compressed. It's not even enhanced bitrate, okay? That's it. Oh, wait, it is enhanced bitrate. Doesn't even seem like it. It looks like shit. It's like real animals.
A lion was born.
A CG lion was born.
Without a drop of nobility in his blood.
Yep. Good shot. This is funny. Yay. This is terrifying. Oh my god, this is so creepy.
A lion who would change our lives forever.
Who's narrating?
Mufasa.
Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa. It tingles me. So yeah, this is directed by Barry Jenkins, who did The Underground Railroad, Moonlight, what was the other one called? It's like the name of a street. I forget what it was. But he's always been really great with visuals. And as soon as he was attached to the Beale Street, yeah, if Beale Street could talk. As soon as he was attached to this project, I wasn't expecting it to look like a Barry Jenkins movie. This is not a BJ joint. I don't know why they're doing this. John might have wanted out. I have a theory since I made part 1 that John doesn't believe any of the shit that he says in all those interviews, and that he's just playing ball, and that he had notes for how to make it, and it was like, oh well, you know, the animation can be realistic and also cheap looking if we don't have their facial expressions do anything. So then he's spending the entire behind the scenes footage and commentary the entire time just justifying all of these notes that are given to him. I don't even know if I'm sure that it was his doing at this point. It seems like he's just a good bullshitter. Like I don't believe that he believes it. Wow, it's like the Just Can't Wait to Be King. They're going through the zebras. Hippopotamus. Oh, this is from Kim. Remember in Kimba, they were in the water at one point? Why, how could they rip that off? There was a great crocodile in Kimba. A stampede? There was an elephant stampede in Kimba? Are they going to do an elephant genocide? Oh my god. It's funny how we get a prequel and they're like, yeah, there's a stampede scene also. This one over here is having a tough time with that rock. Where is he? It's too zoomed. Yeah, right here. Look at this guy. Fuck. He's having a tough time with that. All right.
The earth will shake.
This looks, I mean, obviously, just really soulless. But now we don't have the trailer of everybody going like, I remember that scene. So now it's not as effective. I'm just I already know, just based on what I've seen on Twitter and people being like, oh, why is this happening? The conversation has shifted. It's not just people going like, I remember anymore. Jacksfilms reaction? Yeah, maybe.
Destiny.
Is that baby Zazu? Dude! That looks so funny.
Destiny.
Oh my god. Oh, he's doing the thing. Why is there so much snow? Okay. So this is a musical number part, I guess. They're just in a circle. They're in the fursuit parade.
Yes.
Thanks, literally the owner of Twitch.
Awaits you.
Oh, you could see the lion face you could see the face. Dude, there's the eye. There's another eye. There's the snoot. There's the muzzle. I think this one has Beyonce in it also. What the frick? Okay, this is so odd. Why do they release the trailer in such shit resolution? Like, honestly, it's so fucking frustrating. Oh my god. Is that a white lion? Kimba! Oh my god, we got Kimba. Holy shit. We actually got Kimba. Look at, there he is. There he is! Rawr! This is going to feel nothing like a Barry Jenkins film. It's going to feel absolutely nothing like a Barry Jenkins film. I mean, that goes without saying. Rawr! Is that not Scar? Are we going to have another villain? Because this looks exactly like Scar. The one in the 2019 version. It looks identical. So I don't know if it's the same guy. Flashback? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Because I heard that they're getting Beyonce and Donald Glover back, so we're just gonna we all have to assume at that point that they're gonna start the film and then it's gonna be Donald Glover and Beyonce, and they're like, little baby we just had, why don't I tell you the story of the Commander Shepard, my dad? You tell me another story about the shepherd? Nah. This one's fine. Burp. Yay, fur glow. Look at all that fur glow. It's like an outline. You get to outline the character so that they don't feel like they're in the environment at all. It's so real, it's not even animation. Mufasa! I like how they have the Lion King in the title still. Oh, Seth Rogen's back. Yeah. Okay. Who are these two at the beginning? Okay. Yeah, we do. Okay. Mods? Is Mods going to be a villain? Tandy Newton. Okay. Was she in the first? I don't remember who she played. Introducing Blue Ivy. Oh, no. Beyonce's daughter, Queen Princess B. Oh, no. Well, so here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. Oh! All right. Oh, no. He's done a bunch of bad musical shit, hasn't he? Oh, no. So if you're a person, the cultural conversation seems to have shifted. Everybody seems to be complaining about this. Let's see what the comment section looks like. Let's see if this is... Without a drop of nobility, so this movie literally retcons Mufasa's whole conversation with Simba, making him the first king of the Pride Lands. Huh? I don't know if that's the case, because they added a line into the remake of him being like, Zazu said, "I knew a scrappy young lad, John Oliver. He was a punk bitch, but then eventually he knew how to become king at one point." That was obviously a setup for the prequel when they said that. Yeah, wish they were making in classic 2D animation. Who asked for this is a question that needs to be put before greenlighting movies. People did, because The Lion King 2019 is the highest grossing animated film of all time, and it's not even animated. It made over $1 billion. So people did ask for this by buying a ticket to the first movie.
Bodice of Cinema donated $1. 57k likes, 87.4k dislikes.
Wow.
This trailer's already ratioed so badly.
Okay. A movie was made without a drop of nobility in its blood. So, no, a lot of big properties for the longest time. Much more enthusiastic in the comments. How does a 30-year-old movie look better than this? So people seem to be fucking fed up with this shit. The conversation has changed. But people got to remember, they're doing this because you all bought tickets to see the first one in theaters. Okay? I didn't even do that. I made content out of it. I didn't see the first movie in theaters. I refuse to. You got to vote with your wallet. It's not you can't get upset that they're making another one, obviously. The damage was done. So if you're a person that bought tickets to see the first movie in theaters, then I don't know what to say to you. Yeah, that movie made over $1 billion. All right. Let's see what Jacksfilms has got to say. We might cut this part out of the highlight. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask permission to post it. We'll see. This is epic. Your text here. Love it. At the bottom.
Yo, what's good, React family? It's
the photoshopped G Fuel. That's pretty good. I like it.
your boy Jake Reacts, and today we're gonna peep that new Mufasa trailer. Let's get it. From the studio that brought you The Little Mermaid.
Oh shit, my camera's blocking his. I gotta move this around. There we go. Oops, my camera's still blocking his. There.
Pinocchio, Artemis Fowl, Wish.com, She-Hulk, and Chef.
I mean, I get the reference. I don't think Chef was Disney, but I get the reference. And I understand the irony, too. He's probably aware. I'm just pointing that out.
An all-new CG slop fest. Dude, Pride Rock.
Yay! Thanks, Jack.
Slop fest. Dude, Pride Rock.
Nice.
Dear viewers, tell me, what is this lion feeling? Is it joy? Fear? Regret? There's no way to know, for it is photorealistic. With
that flounder image is fucking awful, too. Jacob Tremblay.
with yet more music by Lin Medel Dezine.
Did he do Scuttlebutt too? Did Lin-Manuel Miranda do Scuttlebutt? Somebody posted a fake image on the Lion King subreddit saying of like an article saying Aquafina is going to play Zazu's sister or something. That's not true or confirmed, but I wouldn't be surprised. And also they would probably put her in the big chunk of names if she was actually going to be in it. Lion King subreddit has had a funny kind of evolution in the sense that when I joined, it was just a bunch of like, I don't know, maybe really autistic people being like, is this canon in the Lion Guard when this happened? Cut to a few years later, there's a bunch of thirst posts. There's a bunch of people being they're like, respond with your favorite quote of Scar, and someone will respond, any hole's a hole. Or like just people talking about how Kovu's hot. They're like, why do I want to fuck a lion? I'm like, fuck, I had nothing to do with that. I was just lurking, but it was an interesting transformation in that subreddit. I feel more at home now. this, I like the editing in this.
Mufasa. Coming to theaters this December. Enhanced.
I like the idea of making a fake trailer and then having yourself react to it without really saying anything for the majority of it.
Disney, we will be watching.
Yeah, we love Jack. Dude, Pride Rock. The way he said that was really good. Yeah, I'll ask him permission. Just send me the unlisted link and then I'll send that to him. Yeah, we deserve this because we gave the movie over $1 billion. So contradicts. I mean, what do we expect here? It's just, at least it's not going to. At least it's just going to be a shitty movie independent of anything, and it's cutting off into its own storyline, maybe. Like, there are some people that I saw in the comment sections that were upset about, like, retconning. I don't know if I'd go that far, because it's clearly just doing its own thing from this point. And also, if we're going to be upset about retconning, that started in the 2019 film. I mean, it's all... If you count all the Lion King properties, there's several instances of retconning anyway. But the 2019 film is pretty egregious, and it destroyed things about the characters. Massive misinterpretations of how the story flowed or how the characters interacted. Pretty soon, we're going to have all 3 top videos being cat videos. This is going to get more views than Old Boy pretty soon. My demonetized Old Boy video, which is also very good. I'm anticipating The Lion King Part 1 being my most viewed video in maybe a year or two. Now, I understand people are asking where Part 2 is. And there's a lot of reasons why it's not out yet. Reason 1, I've injured myself, which, I mean, I guess started, I think, during, if not slightly before the Kimba video. There was a point in my life, in my my teenage years starting the channel, and then my 20s doing the channel, where my entire mindset was just wake up, work, go to sleep, not really much of a social life at all. If I hung out with anybody at any point, you know, it was like watching a movie or... you know, doing something where I could like make content out of it. And that helped grow my channel. That helped build my brand. And I have my channel and I have my brand. And now being older, and, you know, now my living expenses have gotten higher, not just because of inflation, but just because I'm trying to like live in 2 places at once. Because my boyfriend lives in the States. So I'm trying to spend some time in the States with him. And also, I'm, you know, a resident of Canada, so I can't spend all my time in the States or else I'm going to get kicked out. I'm still very much at a point where it's difficult to... I think there's a lot of people that if they were in my situation where they've literally injured themselves because they overworked, and I'm talking about tendinitis, I'm talking about, general wrist and arm issues. My shoulder's kind of fucked. Over the past couple weeks, I got this today to try and help with my shoulder issue, just because I don't know what I'm doing wrong at my desk. I don't know if I'm just not ergonomically in the right position. But I think there's a lot of people in my situation that would have just been okay, can't do it anymore, and then just stop what they're doing. What I wound up doing is, instead of just stopping everything completely, I tried my best to try and figure out ways to have less input from me on a purely editing point. And also fucking typing with my notes. If I'm going to do notes for a movie, I have to not have this finger type, so I have to put this thing on. I can't take notes on my phone anymore because doing this a lot fucks up my tendons. But my mom has the same thing, and she's been out of commission for a while, and it's not as bad as hers, but I'm trying not to exacerbate it and make it as bad as hers. And so I've got a personal trainer now. I'm going to the gym, trying to focus on things that are going to get me some actual exercise and activity, because I was literally my entire 20s was just sit in a desk with a way worse chair and way worse desk and mouse, which probably, negatively contributed to all of this. That was just how I did things for a long time. And no matter how hard I want to try to do things the way that I used to, it's literally not possible anymore. And so with the amount of time that I spent, so The Lion King Part 2 is still coming. I should mention that. Lion King Part 2 is still coming. Old review is still coming. Spiral review is still coming. Synecdoche Part 6 is still coming. And my list videos are still coming. I recorded 6 hours worth of shit for Synecdoche Part 6. Now I have to I can still use parts of it for sure, but I've completely restructured how I want to approach it. The way that I've viewed other artists that create things is I've never really been one to, try and pressure something to be done before it's ready, especially things that are important, and especially things that take a huge amount of consideration and time and organization. The Lion King review, these large, huge YMS reviews, are things that require me to be in it completely for half a year. And right now, since I've made part 1, not only, did I literally say at the end of it, okay, I'm not doing this right away. I need to take a break. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a part 1. I wouldn't have made a part 1 if I didn't need a break. Damn. What was that? I lost my train of thought with that sentence. It's a difficult thing to try and communicate, because the reasons for it not being out yet are a huge combination of a huge amount of different things. So injury is one of them, and trying not to make myself more injured, because when I first started getting tendinitis symptoms, my thought process was, oh, I'll just do everything with my left hand. Then I got tendinitis in my left arm. Now my left arm's completely great and hasn't, there's nothing wrong with it. But I know that if I try to, do the workload from my right arm with my left arm and replace that, I know that that's just going to result in me not being able to use both of my arms, which wound up happening. And then I was like, okay, what work can I still do without my arms, without being able to use both of my arms? And so I tried to catch up on some like list shit. I'm like, okay, I've got a huge watch list. I can just watch these things and get these out of the way, because you have to watch movies to review them. And so then I was like on my old couch, just spending the entire fucking day, what I considered to be a work day, which was just like wake up and then do that until I go to bed. The entire day going through other shit that I needed to watch. Then I developed sciatica because I guess the couch I was on wasn't great, or like ergonomically great for me. And that I need to be, I don't know, like I'm in my 30s now. I need to be like not just in one position for very long. So I got sciatica all the way down my left leg. From essentially like, I don't know if it's technically like a slipped disc in the back or however sciatica works. And so I had literally 3 limbs out of commission because I had the mindset of like, no, I'll just keep working. And I'm like a workaholic and I just try my best. And I still kind of am very much, but I'm also in the position now where I know, because of having that experience where I wasn't able to use 3 out of 4 of my limbs, and then my only remaining limb was my knee that I dislocated in 2012, the leg with that knee. So my sciatica symptoms are better, my left arm's better, my right arm is my dominant arm. I've swapped around my mouse buttons. I've tried, a bunch of different mouses, to try, and I've settled on this one that's the most ergonomic for me. But even still, like the past month and a half, where I'm crunching to get certain projects done, and these projects, if I take 6 months to do The Lion King Part 2, and that's all I focus on, there's not going to be anything else out on the channel. I can't pay my bills. I can't pay my editors. The expenses for editors, and this is not even including so I get some money from like the highlights channel. I get some money from the clips channel. Those are channels run by other people. For the projects on like the main channel and other projects that are like ones that I pay other editors to do, I'm spending about maybe like $7,000 a month. And so I'm in the, that's not even including like living expenses like rent, and then shit like the gym, and then like trying to eat healthier now. And so the channel in of itself, that's now why I'm trying to do, sponsorships like Audible and shit. I can't afford to have a huge chunk of time where I'm only working on the large project that I can't release for 6 months. And I know that I need that chunk of time to focus on it. And I am working to make ways, I'm working to figure out ways to make that possible. And it's not as if like, oh, since The Lion King Part 1, I'm just in the exact same situation. No, I've completely restructured how the gaming channel works, which, by the way, I only play games one day a week. I know basically everything I'm saying is something that like a lot of the people that watch my stream and a lot of people on my Patreon already know, but I'm getting a lot of these questions about The Lion King Part 2, obviously from casual watchers, because it's the most popular video on the channel, basically. And so, then I come across like, okay, well, how do I do some sponsorship things? Because in terms of how I'm incentivized, I would love to be able to get The Lion King Part 2 out, because I know that even no matter what it is, it's going to get a lot of views. But I feel more strongly about my art and what I create and what I put out there, that I can't just fart something out, and I can't have that particular video be one that another editor takes care of, because a lot of the jokes, a lot of the observations, a lot of the personality, like the entire personality of the video is through the editing process through me. And that's not something, I don't want there to be like Lion King Part 1 and then have like a dramatically different approach to Lion King Part 2, right? I don't want to have a video that's just so different and worse. And so I need to retain that sort of control over it. And there might be some aspects to it that I can get other people to help out within the editing process. But the reason why it's not done yet is because I'm not ready to do it yet. And the reason why I'm not ready to do it yet is because I know myself and I know the situation that I'm in. And anybody that's ever tried, getting residency or citizenship in another country will reaffirm what I'm saying, is that it's a very complicated, time-consuming process. I'm on my third lawyer for that. There's a lot of scams. There's a lot of people that are trying to get you to pay them like $12,000 that don't really have like a guarantee for what they can offer, and might even put you in a worse situation than you started. And so all of these things, also, I'm in like this dumb fucking legal issue with an insurance company screwing me over. I've had to lawyer up for that, right? And so all of these things that require my attention and my time and, just being a fucking adult, which sucks, and I don't want to be, I know, but everything is eating up my time. And I want to make sure people understand, because again, this is some casual watchers and this is some people that are, some people watch my content and they just don't like me, but they like the big videos or whatever. Some of these people are really uncharitable and don't have any sort of sense of understanding of like A, time, and then B, work or effort or situation or anything. And so this message is mostly for them. In order to keep the channel running, I need to do other content. In order to, like, the Oscars video, that's like a month out of my year, right? Out of 12 months, that's a month out of my year. Trying to watch as many Oscars films as I can, and then do all the voiceover. And then even if I should mention, even with other videos being edited by other people, they're still going to me and I'm still checking over them and I'm making adjustments depending on the video. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I watch it and it's done. That's great. Bunch of these videos, I wind up needing to re-record some things, send some things back, make adjustments on my end, tweak the audio levels, replace footage. It's not, if I'm going to have my creative control over it, and I feel strongly about how things are presented, then it's not as if I can just like record something and then just like the entire channel is operational without me. And I'm trying to manage a bunch of different channels. Obviously, the YMS one is the main one. I still want to continue doing the podcast. That is, the recording, watching the films for the podcast, going over the editing and like publishing and, getting it all set up for the patrons and blah, 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 blah. That's bi-weekly, and that takes like what? Like anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. Film festivals, Toronto Film Festival. I'm not going to cut that out of my schedule. That's like one of the few things I find joy in. And that's, there's certain people that watch my channel for different reasons. Some watch for the memes. Some watch for film recommendations. Some watch just for me to tear apart movies and call them bad. There's a bunch of different types of videos on my channel. And I don't want to just completely abandon like a video type. Because I can't work on The Lion King Part 2 right away. And when I say can't work on it, I mean I have worked on it, but it's not something that I can just be like in my crunch mode, just like ready to go. The type of situation and the type of environment that I need to actually like get it done. And I know that. And I know I need to do it in that way. So in the meantime, in this past few years, however long it's been, 2 years? I don't know. I've been restructuring how things have been working on the channel. I've gotten all but one editor from the gaming channel not working on the gaming channel anymore. And that editor is one that I trust. And so now everything happening on that channel, I don't have to look over. And I can just trust them to publish things without me even needing to look at it, because that was taking time. And now I have those editors doing videos for the main channel. And so I've started them out with things like the YMS watches stuff. Sonic's edited the Boss Baby video that was posted recently. I think it's awesome. I think it's really well edited. Everybody should check that out. We've recorded a bunch of Adam and Pals. There's like 5 that haven't been edited yet. There's also the issue of like me wanting to make sure that there's content for other people to edit, because any editor that I have working on the channel or any of my channels, if that's their main source of income, I'm not going to be a fucking monster, right? And I'm not just going to be like, oh, there's nothing to work on this week, right? So now I've made it so that they can create things out of watch-along streams that I was doing anyway for movies that I either had to watch for the podcast or just new things that were coming out that I just felt like I might as well do a stream for. But all of these things, anything appearing on the main channel, even if it's not something that even if it's something that I don't edit myself, that's essentially just a first draft. And I still wind up going through it, and I still wind up editing a good chunk of it. And hopefully over time, the more that an editor is familiar with that type of video or that type of content, then the less that I'll need to do on my end. But a lot of this is a work in progress. A lot of, Sonics, that was your first YMS Watches video, right? And then a lot of these editors that were working on the gaming channel have sent me things that are their first video of that type. So all of that takes time. And then me trying to figure out the sponsorships, that takes time, because I don't want to just pick a random sponsor that's like an unethical company or some company that isn't delivering like a good product that I don't trust or believe in. And so me caring about that, then I have to do research into the company. I have to try their shit. There's a whole list of things that I have to do on my own to figure that out. All of that takes time. And so I'm at the point now where we're in a transitionary period that should hopefully get me in a situation where I can free up time. Unfortunately, right now, I'm also, because I'm traveling back and forth between Vancouver and Atlanta, I'm not really in the same spot for more than a couple months at a time. Which, I can still work on a bunch of these different projects, but like The Lion King, I care too much about to try and do that in different places at once and not have my full attention or I want to be able to do things at the best of my ability. And that's the reason why it's not out yet, is because I care about that project so much. And there's people that won't understand that, because there's people that don't know what it's like to care about something or care about what they create. 99.9% of the people on this platform, YouTube, are people that are just gaming the algorithm and creating insincere content for money. But I'm not one of those people. And, there's a lot of people that don't understand the difference between what goes into something like the Lion King or Kimba video versus someone who is recording a script that was written by someone else, completely edited by someone else, a subject that they're just essentially being a narrator for, pumping out content once every 2 days. It's not the same type of content. It needs to be something where it is my soul, and it is my... If I didn't feel strongly about it, it would be out now. And incentivized, the way I'm incentivized financially, I could literally just fart something together, call it The Lion King Part 2, and make a bunch of money. So if we're talking financially, what is in my best interest would be to not care as much about what I put out and be one of those other channels that just games the algorithm and creates insincere content. But that's not me, and I don't want to do that. And it's a struggle. I'm trying my best, and I am making steps and seeing progress towards being able to tackle that project. In the meantime, I was working on my 2016 list this month. I'm going to try and get that out. Sometimes it really depends on the day or like what my brain is able to do. Because doing voiceover for something is a very different mental state than like watching something or like going over an edit that somebody sent me or doing that kind of editing. But I'm always working, as in any work that I can do, I do. I have a lot to say about The Lion King still. I know some people have commented saying like, oh, what's even the point after so long? I mean, if you liked the first video, then you should know is that I'm offering a very unique, very hyper-focused autistic perspective on the film, that it doesn't even matter if other people have covered the subject. I'm going to be saying things in the way that I say it, and I'm going to be making my observations with my style of comedy and editing and humor. And I'm, those things that I create, they're passion projects that I want to do, but I don't want to do it if I can't do it right. And so that's the situation we're in. So in the meantime, while I'm trying to figure out ways to still match a similar level of quality with those types of videos, but not have as much of the clicking, typing things that make my injury worse on my end, we figured out some things like the Flash review. That was like an hour-long video, high energy, some good edits. I did some of those edits, but most of it was not edited by me. But that was a video that we were able to do in that way, and that turned out really great. The Little Mermaid review was another one that we were able to do similarly. And so there's a handful of things that I have on my list that are passion projects that the only reason that I haven't done them yet is because I'm like, no, I don't want to do it bad, right? And sometimes I get really bogged down by that. So those being like Saw Spiral and Old, particularly. But I think that I'm at the point right now where still around other things that I'm doing, like I still got to do my podcast, right? I still got to do all this fucking dumb legal shit with this other shit in my personal life. I still got to go to the gym and be healthy. That takes time, okay? Eating meals that you cook at home and not just ordering fucking McDonald's. I'm in my 30s. I can't, I literally can't. I'm trying, I fucking wish it would be ideal for me to have the same work output that I did in my 20s, but I literally physically can't anymore. Because it was unrealistic and I didn't have any free time. And if you look at all of my other channels, whether it's my music or the gaming channel or the podcast, all of those things, and you add up the amount of time that those things take, that's all in my free time. So, I still have the same workaholic mentality in the sense that even my free time, I'm turning into something I can make content out of. And I know some people look at something like my gaming channel, they're like, oh, you're not working. It's like, what, I'm not allowed to have free time and turn that into content? Some people are annoying, some people are crazy, some people don't understand time, some people don't understand effort. There's things that happen every year, like TIFF, like the Oscars. April Fool's video, I edit every single one of those. I write the script for those. I organize those. Those take time. Do I stop doing those? Should I stop doing those? I don't know. And I still want to be able to, check out recent films and recommend things that are worth watching. And I still want to be able to have like some free time in what I'm doing. And it's just difficult managing all of that. And I'm trying my best, and I'm figuring out ways to do it, and I'm changing what I'm doing to make things happen. But we are in a situation right now where the Lion King 2 review is not out, and it'll be out when it's ready. There is no date. I'm not giving any indication. I'm not giving a fucking year. But it'll be out when it's ready. And I mean, honestly, I would have to worry less about the smaller videos on the channel if they had more views. And I know that's not something that my fans can magically do. I know that's not something that I am owed, obviously. But you look at, the trends each month. I'm like getting that fucking Boss Baby video out because I had to do a lot of like patchwork on the editing there. Doing the Challengers video, prank panel video. Those were all released within the past week. And a lot of these wind up lining up with like the end of the month because I look at what the estimated revenue is for the channel and how much I need to pay my editors and how much I need to pay in rent and how much I need to pay fucking lawyers right now, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm trying to do something that's sustainable. I've already spent through a lot of my savings, which is not that much. I'm not a millionaire. Literally not. If every month had a video that did as well as like the Madam Web video, then I wouldn't be as stressed about putting out the content on the channel that exists to keep the channel going, and keep sustaining myself. Right now, I guess I'm going to just finish up this highlight because I'm kind of rambling. Right now, the plan is Synecdoche Part 6, for sure. Again, it's something that I'm very passionate about, but I think that I can, despite doing this whole back and forth of me not living in one place for more than a couple months, I think that is something that I still can finish in that situation. If not, then definitely the 2016 list, because I've made most of the progress with that is just watching the movies. And there's still a bunch on the watch list, but I can chip at that bit by bit as it's going. I can chip at that bit by bit, and that's not something where I necessarily need to be in one strict focus that I can't do other projects at the same time with, that seems like the most definitely doable project without sacrificing anything. And then on top of that, I'm abandoning the idea of doing like a full proper YMS for like Spiral and Old. And I'm going to try and tackle those in the same way that we did with Little Mermaid and The Flash. In the sense that they're good enough to call YMS : blank. And maybe there's a lot of people that won't notice the difference. I don't know. I noticed the difference, but I literally can't. I literally can't. Like, time is not compatible with my body anymore in the same sense that it used to be. And shit sucks, and it's annoying. But yeah, I guess this is why I haven't like posted like a full like update on the Lion King thing, is just because there's so much shit to consider. And I didn't write any of this shit down. I probably should have. I'm probably going to go to bed tonight and then remember like 10 other things that have fucked. Oh yeah, we had to like move out. We got kicked out of our old place for no reason because there's no renters' rates. It was like the end of a lease, and the other roommate who was on the lease moved out, and they were like, "Oh, instead of just putting you on the lease, we're actually going to do a renovation. You have to be out of the house for a month and a half anyway." So we had to find a new place. House hunting, that took a month. Right? The moving process itself, packing everything, expensive as fuck. While I'm still trying to like work around that. Like, if I go through my actual timeline, I'm sure I could find things like every month or two that were just like an annoying. My brother's wedding, that only happens once, right? Oh, thanks for the gift subs. Ethereal, real, bisexual. My brother's wedding, right? I didn't want to just not do anything for that. There's certain expectations and considerations that you should make for close friends and family members for things that are only going to happen once. You can watch the video I made for my brother's wedding on the highlights channel. You can see that. That was obviously a time-consuming process. But still, like, it's one of those weird things where a lot of what I'm describing is things that people should be able to do in their free time anyway. And I have. But the biggest problem is what used to be the chunk of time that is now my free time working, I guess, regular hours, debatably. That was just time that I spent working before. Like, the reason why you don't see many videos on the entire fucking platform that are as thorough in terms of the interview footage being used and the research and the editing style and like the audio leveling and just like the amount of time that goes into something. The reason why you don't see a lot of videos like that on the platform, and if you can't tell it, if you think you do, I don't know if I trust you. The reason why you don't see that is just because it's not a normal thing for people to be doing. And I still want to create my Lion King Part 2 in the same way that I created the first, or with the same level of quality, the same passion. I'm just not in a situation right now where I can do that. And I've recognized that. And instead of being like every movie I criticize, you know, instead of being like half the shit that I'd say is bad, I'm being patient. And I'm going to do it exactly when I can.
Have you considered any new merch? I'm sure the community would love to support you in new ways. Maybe it can afford new researchers or a personal assistant?
I don't trust anyone to do research but me, and that's my problem, but that's part of what the videos I do are. I can't read a script from someone else. I don't trust anybody else to do research. I don't have that level of trust. I can't. And that might just be part of my problem, I know. But we are doing new merch. It's going to launch sometime in May. That was another thing that I, despite having a lot of help from someone else doing the bulk of the work, that's something that I had to pay attention to. That's something that I had to give feedback on. That's something that I had to dedicate time towards. Like, when there's so many little projects and I'm communicating with like 12 different editors, when there's a lot of little things wind up adding into a big thing. There will be entire days where I'm working the entire day by doing a lot of little things that you would never think would add up to an entire day. Yeah, across all my different channels, I have like 12, I think. I think I have a dozen. A lot of little things that you wouldn't think would add up to a day. But they do. And that's like a good chunk. It's a good chunk. I don't have a fucking publicist. I don't have a manager. I'm running like literally my entire business just myself. And it's overwhelming. And there was a point in time where it was possible to do everything the way I was doing it before. Because every single ounce of free time that I had, I filled it by taking on a new project or by just doing more work or like finding out a way to make new content or monetizing it. That was, if I have free time, then I'd fill that time with work. And then now that I need some free time to focus on my health a bit and not die, that's where the issue comes. Is completely maxing out all of the time that I had, and then being like, oh, I guess I need a little bit of time, like normal people do, to be able to like go to the gym and cook a meal and like, you know, even just like some time to like relax. Anyway, I don't know how this is going to be received. A lot of people get really pissy when there's content creators that are successful that don't just constantly talk about how, you know, everything in their life is great and they're privileged and everything. Like, obviously, I acknowledge that I'm in a position that a lot of people would kill for. And I'm not e-begging, you know? I didn't start a fucking GoFundMe. I'm just saying that I'm managing things the best that I can, and all of these things come with their unique struggles and their unique considerations. And as the personality type that I am, where I feel like if I'm going to do something, I need to do it right, what might be something that someone else can just go like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter what sponsor you get, or oh yeah, it doesn't matter how your merch looks, or oh yeah, it doesn't matter this, or what the editor does on this video, and they can just fart something out. There can be editing mistakes in there. It doesn't have to be their whole personality. A lot of people are like that. That's not me. And for me not to be that, every single tiny thing becomes a huge thing. And maybe that's my problem. And maybe I need to learn not to be that. And maybe I need to try to, you know, let go of the reins a bit. But I'm figuring out ways to have that done in a way that's not destructive towards what I'm doing. And destructive to the quality of the content, et cetera, et cetera. So again, probably going to go to bed tonight and remember like 10 other more things I should have said, but that's the gist of it. Is the only reason it's not out is because if I made it now, it wouldn't be good. And I want it to be good. So if you want it to be good, be patient. I know it's difficult for people. But you got to be patient. And I'm trying my best to get other projects finished in the meantime that can still have a good level of quality to it, but just not the same as The Lion King Part 2. Because the Lion King Part 2 is my full autism video. Trying my best. Anyway, I guess that's it. I don't know where else I can go from here. And we'll see who or how I get misinterpreted in that, but whatever. Oh yeah, and if anybody's wondering why I haven't gotten fucking surgery for my wrist, it's because my mom had the same thing and surgery made it worse. She has the same thing and surgery made it worse. And also my personal trainer is trying to avoid that. And essentially anybody with like tendinopathy and tendonitis, it can go either way. For some people, it's like, oh, great, it's better. And for some people, it makes it worse. And the idea of making it worse terrifies me. It fucking terrifies me, especially as somebody that doesn't want to be completely unable to like play instruments for the rest of my life, which, by the way, is my therapy. Creating music. I don't know if anybody's heard my music that's listening to this, probably. But I need that. And if I didn't have my music, I literally wouldn't be alive today. And I don't even I probably spend like maybe at this point in the past like 3 years, probably maybe a week or two a year less than that working on my music. And I would like to make another album. And I want to figure out a way to make that happen and not fuck up my arms more. So yeah, it's a difficult. It's not it. If surgery was a like, oh, for sure this is a low risk thing that for sure is going to work, I would have done it by this point. But that so far everything I've heard about it is not that. Yeah. Bunch of bullshit, bunch of annoying nonsense. Things that a lot of things that just kind of fucking showed up and surprised me that I couldn't possibly have anticipated for. You know, when having to move again. I moved like twice in the fucking past year and a half. That shit's awful. I hate moving. When that takes up months of your time, then it's not just like, oh, a month has disappeared. Like someone works a normal job. Like I used to work at like Best Buy. You're gone from Best Buy for a week. You come back, your work's the same. If I'm gone from what I'm doing right now for a week, I have a week's worth of shit to catch up on when I'm back. So when something happens that requires more than a week or months, right? That's stuff I have to make up for. It's part of the problem. Otherwise, I like just can't afford my expenses. And so yeah, this year I'm making a point. The second half of this year is I'm gonna be trying to live a lot cheaper. We'll see where things go. Maybe the merch will do really well.
BC
Maybe I've got nothing to worry about.
Donated $1. Look on the bright side, you didn't waste your money on a Tesla. We all saw how that went for Booguy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm leasing my vehicle. The lease is over in a month.
You've given so much to the world and
That's
you've
another
given
thing
so
I have to
many
do.
loves in great ways. Dusklove, don't break yourself. We have trust in you and the art you make.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I know that, well, you people are watching my stream, right? So this is like my core audience that actually doesn't really necessarily bad faith misinterpret what I'm saying. Or when you have 1 million subscribers, within that amount of people, there's going to be a lot of fucking idiots and a lot of bad people and a lot of people that view you in a completely almost like, I don't know if the word is like objectifying. I don't know if that's the right word. They view you as like content and nothing else, and they don't see like that there's a person behind it. And maybe I don't know if like some of these people just have a bad list of people that they follow or something, but like there's people that are conditioned or primed to assume that anything that anyone is telling them is like dishonest. There's people that are going to watch this and be like, oh, he's faking it and he's lying about everything. And he doesn't actually want to make this thing that's clearly his passion project, even though literally, you know, let's try to imagine their world for a second. The reason why this doesn't make sense is if it was as quick to make and simple to make and easy to make as they're claiming, and I'm just fucking lazy, I would be incentivized to do that because I would get a lot of money. I would get a lot of money for releasing Lion King Part 2. Lion King Part 1 has been... Let's see if I can look at my analytics. Lion King Part 1 is making up like a chunk of my revenue for this year. Like a big chunk of it. Because it's a long video. There's ad breaks in it. Yeah. Lion King Part 1 made more money than any other video that I posted this year. It would be crazy to believe in a world where I like don't want to post Part 2. Or that I'm doing something to avoid doing that. That doesn't make logical sense. My problem is that I want to do it right.
Hey, it's Olivia. thank you for watching as usual. It's May 2024, so let me list off my wonderful $5 and up patrons. Michael Bradley, Wet Trunhole, Jordan A, Sam3824, Clarice Carlson, Nico Fuentes, Joel999, Speak of the Joker, Lobsterite, Mayro Geek, Mead Marmalade, Silverwind, Toby White, Skanadon, Happy the Knife, Coolisher, www.openclassactions.com, Mill Blank, Judah the Kinslayer, T King, Sliv88, Electricus, and Ordinary Bad Gamer, Yup, The Super One Player, Zachary Kane, Monkshud Psychosis, Gabriel Herrera, and Lemonade Warriors participating in the hit game Among Us and is considered the encroacher. Fucked up on Gabriel Herrera. Oh well. Thank you for all the support. It means the world to me. Take care.